What's up, everyone? Francis on Dead. Tonight, I just feel like making another video on IELTS speaking test walkthrough. So, without further ado, let us begin. As you can see here, I've got a few sample questions. What type of photos do you like taking? Why or why not? What do you do with the photos you take? Why or why not? When you visit other places, do you take photos or buy postcards? Why and why not? Do you like peeping? Do you like people taking photos of you? Why or why not? Well, um, my answer to the first question is, what type of photos do I like taking? Yes, I like taking photos with some celebrities, with some important people, some VIPs I meet at parties, at seminars, at business networking events. As you know, I own a few small businesses, so I would like to get to know more people that share my skills, or even have better skills than I have. As I approach them, I get the chance to learn from them. So yeah, once I take a photo, it's a sign of uh, evidence that I can show off to my friends on Facebook. So yeah, that's because I do sometimes enjoy, showing off my achievements. So yes, these photos basically are the signs, or sorry, not only signs, but the evidence, the the evidence, or sort of some sort of um, let's say visualized certificate of my achievement. Yeah. So, and the next question, what do I do with the photos I take? Yes, like I said, I tend to share them on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn even, but I don't always share too many photos on LinkedIn, since that could make me look too frivolous if I have too many photos. It's kind of feature creep. It's kind of too unprofessional to present too much information or too many things to your potential customers. That's just too rude to do that. So yes, that's basically what I think when it comes to you know what do I do with the photos I took. So yeah, I don't I don't do much with the photos I took, except I sometimes share them on Facebook. So yeah, when I visit other places, do I take photos or buy postcards? No, I don't buy a lot of postcards. I usually take a few um, meaningful photos at some points of interest, or at some places of memorials, such as like a graveyard, or a museum, or an exhibition center. So yeah, I take some photos to collect, to gather some intels on a specific thing or a specific product, so that I can develop my company's products better to a whole new level. So yeah, and then do I like people taking photos of me? Well, that depends on the circumstances, such as if a photo, if a person tries to stalk me, and he or she takes a photo of me, then I would get very pissed off. I'll get very annoyed, and as it violates my privacy. It violates, you know, the confidentiality agreement. So yeah, That's definitely unacceptable. So let's move to part 2. Um, you will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish. So yeah, once you move on to part 2, the examiner will give you 1 to 2 minutes to plan what you are gonna talk about, what you are gonna say. So as you can see here, we have the question: describe a day when you thought the weather was perfect. You should say where you were on this day, what the weather was like on this day, what did you do, what you did during the day, and explain what you thought the weather, what you thought the weather was, why you thought the weather was perfect on this day. So yeah, let's say, let's say there was a time when I was taking my final exam at uni. Uh, that exam was it was sorry, not my uni, my high school exam. It was a bright day of sunshine. It was I on that day I took my chemistry exam, my chemistry practical. It actually helped me, you know, it since lighting the lighting condition was perfect, which made the weather perfect. It at on the way, uh, while I was on my way to the examination venue, I felt energized by sunlight. As you know, sunlight can serve as an antidepressant, so um, so to speak. Yeah, it energizes you. It can, you know makes you feel motivated. It gives you you know it's it implies a good sign that you are gonna make it for the exam, for the upcoming challenges. So yeah, yes, and by the way, I was I'm from Singapore, so I did my high school in Singapore, although I did my college in Sydney, Australia. So let's say, yeah, yes, Singapore actually it rains a lot, but somehow on that day it was brightly sunny. So I felt I was blessed by God. So yeah, and afterwards I did actually pass the exam. So yeah, I'm sure it 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 had to be more than a simple coincidence. So yeah, that sunlight made my day, in short. So let's move to part 3. Discussion topics. Types of weather. Example questions. What types of weather do people in your country dislike most? Why is that? What job can be affected by different weather conditions? Why? Are are there any important festivals in your country that celebrate a season or type of weather? Um, let's say let's say let's say I let's talk about what jobs can be affected by different weather conditions. Why? Let's say construction jobs. There's a construction site near my apartment. It seems that it is funded by the government, and yes, it often gets affected by the foul weather, such as heavy rains, thunder storms, even typhoons in Sydney. Uh, you know, pretty much in every major city of Australia, the weather tends to cause turmoil, tends to be unstable. So as although the construction industry always flourishes and thrives, especially in Sydney, in Brisbane, in Canberra, in Melbourne, where the real estate industry is booming. So yes, it does affect construction jobs and as well as engineering jobs, as well as mining jobs. Although mining jobs nowadays implement they the mining companies nowadays implement lots of mining robots that automates the mining projects, which can now demand minimal human involvement, which is a good thing, which is a good sign. So yeah, there are still there are still quite a few jobs that can get affected by different weather conditions. So yes, I can't agree with this statement more. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. Weather forecast. Example questions. How important do you think it is for everyone to check what's next day's weather will be? Why? What's the best way to get accurate information about the weather? How easy or difficult is it to predict the weather in your country? Why is that? As I mentioned previously, in Australia, the weather tends to cause turmoil. It tends to be unstable, and the weather forecast, in other words, is not very trustworthy. It's most of times it's I would say the accuracy um, lies between 40% to 65%. So it is not quite sometimes it's not quite reliable, quite not quite trustworthy. So yeah, so and in a retrospect, how important do I think it is for everyone to check what's next day's weather will be? I would say it is important to check um, what temperature will be, so you can take you can undertake countermeasures accordingly. You can such as you need to put on more clothes. You need to wear scarves. Although I dislike wearing scarves because it makes me look girly, but still, sometimes I have to wear it since I could catch a sniffle if I don't. So yeah, and yes, another thing is the the sometimes not always, uh, certain types of weather somehow can somehow accelerate the reproduction of insects, such as cockroaches, such as flies, and it can transmit diseases. So it is yes, it is important to take. It is crucial to take countermeasures against these outside hazards, these natural hazards, and sometimes a foul weather condition can imply a major catastrophe, a major natural catastrophe such as earthquake is imminent. So yeah, it is important that we get some preparations in prior. It is better safe than sorry in summer. So yes, I hope you enjoy this my IELTS walkthrough. So I shall see you on the next IELTS speaking test walkthrough. If you have a comment, or please feel free to post it, and please feel free to subscribe and share it. And I shall see you on the next IELTS speaking test walkthrough then. Peace out.